Welcome everyone, this is Xencard from Alpha Project Cluster. This video will talk about the old tunnels from Scorched Earth. This base is, this cave is special. Inside the cave you can only place cliff platforms, there's no structures that can be placed underground. And it's on the canyons in Scorched Earth, which means you need to place defenses on the top and some on the sides of the canyons. Otherwise, if you get raided, they will have the high grounds and you won't like it, of course. So, okay, let's. I will give myself the structures I will need for the defenses. I'll need cliff platforms, pillars, tree high, a ceiling. Mushrooms. The turrets. I'm using the structure plus mods, but you can do the same on officials, I guess. Okay, so need to place cliff platforms right in the front. Okay. Place here. Okay. Alright. You want to have one here, one here, so they cannot come from the sides and shoot at you. And this locations is far enough from the turret walls to have another 100 turrets, so you might prefer to make big fobs with a lot of turrets so they cannot take these locations to make their fobs, otherwise you might get fucked. Okay, so this cave, like you can see, I cliff, so this is a perfect location to place a cliff platforms because they cannot shoot at them with the tech rifles, which is pretty important because this is the weakness of this cave actually. Because everything is placed on cliff, like if you do only cliff and hatch frames, it will be easy to cheese with the tech rifle with some body block. So, okay. So to try to counter the tech rifles as possible, we want to, okay. Don't seems to collide anywhere. Obstruct. Okay. Well, guess we might just use one cliff, which is way enough. We'll just have a bit less angle, I guess. Okay, so basically what we want is to not have too many hatch frames because of the tech rifles. The tech rifles will just blow your walls, like. Okay, I give up. Let's just go with one cliff. Okay, so as you see, the cliff is unreachable from outside. So, okay, just like that. So let's place a pillar. I use a GCM if you ask like, hey, how will I be able to place them? Like what I do when playing on my servers is just grapples. Like when you get used with grapples, you can place anything anywhere and it's pretty easy. It just costs a lot of grapple mode. Spider-Man way. You can also use tech suits, but I don't like the texture as a lot of the grapples. Oh, come on. This with the grapples can be really annoying when they don't snap on each other's. It's a pain, like I don't understand. Oh, okay. So as you can see, what I want to do is just instead of using hatch frames, I will use a lot of ceilings to make like layers of floors. So if they plan to use attack guns, they will need a lot more work to get it used, and well, we will have less angles that the turret can shoot, but it pretty much only need to shoot straight forward, so it's not a problem. There's actually you could do several kind of walls like here. I chose like a big dead walls like right here. It's pretty close, but you could do under cliff more fars and place a turret further with the hatch frame at these locations. The hatch frames will be more fragile, but the turret behind will back you. But I think a big dead wall like this is just easier and will do the same things. Okay. So there are several possibilities with the dead wall. You can concentrate your turrets on the top and leave the bottom floors for velos. If you want to do this, the velos will need 2 floor high instead of ones for the turrets. So keep that in mind. Okay, don't matter. We'll leave it like that. Okay, let's make this pillar to the touch the floor. So the reason why I did this instead of hatch frames is because if they blow one hatch frames with attack rifles, like there will most likely be 4 and more turrets that will be gone. And if they blow a sections of this wall with the tech rifles, there will most likely be only 1 turret that's been touched. So it mostly need to be soaked. It's way harder to blow this kind of wall. Like if we had a cliff platform here, we could just place under pillars and try to put some turrets, like aiming in the angles, but well, don't really matter. Okay, now let's place the hatch frames. So if we place it here, let's see if I place it far, if the turrets will. Yeah, I think it will be fine. Yeah, it's fine. So you cannot cheese the hatch frames from outside. It's perfect. It's what we want. We don't want to have them too low. No, only this is enough. We just want to have the minimum required to have more chance to hit directly the riders. Having too much of them will just make more turret lusts for really no reasons. Yeah, we're gonna gen. Just put some fragments, will be faster to get stable. So with this kind of wall, I will say that the most dangerous things that can happen is if the raiders got a lot of times to waste and they use them to body block and push their way to get an angle to shoot the platforms with the body blocking the turrets. That will most likely be the only threat. But there's not many players that's good enough to manage to do this. So most of players with a wall like that will need to soak the entire wall. So that means if you fill the turrets, like your life depends of it, your walls will be able to stand an entire day of offline raiding if it's needed. Well, all depend of the skill of the attackers. Some people can be really surprising and some people can be really bad. So there's a lot of players that will not even manage to pass through a wall like this. So, like I said earlier, there is like many ways you could set up turrets. You could like place more per floors on the top floors and leave the down parts with velos only. You just need to have 2 floor heights for the velo instead of ones. Or you could separate a bit more the turrets and just use the entire walls for turrets only. And fuck the velos. The velos you can place them on the sides or anywhere else. So it's up to the builders to choose whatever you prefer. So you normally would like to have the less turret possible on the bottom floor, cause the turret shooting from outside, is pretty easy to soak. And if you're on lines, you're really round to force the fight to come inside. It depends if you lost the outside or no, cause if they got the outside and can soak from outside, there's not much you can do. But if they need to come inside in order to soak, you can do a lot of things like UT, Giga, and Velos with a lot of melee and just shoot at them, grapples, and there is a lot of possibility, which is it's a lot more problematic to use them if they can soak from outside. So that's what look like the Warzone's complete. It's a pretty a pretty huge damage output if you try to enter. So yeah, from outside there's only the two bottom floors that shoot. So it's they need to take a lot of time to soak, and when they soak the two bottom floors, they hit the walls with the 80 turret left that will shoot most likely riders. The trike won't be usable on the second parts. It will be more complicated. So I hope you guys love this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.